Last time in Group Ironman mode, I started preparing for Slayer by obtaining the Infernal Puzzle Box and upgrading it to its final tier by completing the Succession quest. This unlocked the dive ability and a 10% damage buff to creatures in the wilderness. We had some fun questing with the group and finished it off by obtaining level 70 Necromancy, so we can work towards obtaining one of the most powerful upgrades for Necromancy, the Deathdealer armor and the Death Mark incantation. This will allow us to start bossing and make progress towards our final goal, obtaining Reaper Crew. Welcome to Road to Reaper, Group Ironman Edition. So this week in Group Ironman, I do have a lot of plans, but first we have to get 65 fishing. Now the reason for this is we want to unlock the Traveling Merchant, and we can boost from 65 to 68 using a fish pie, which will allow us to get into the fishing guild and buy the Death Touch Dart. The Death Touch Dart allows us to insta-kill almost any boss in the game, and you'll find out what boss we use it on very soon. Now the main goal of this episode is to get me more prepared for doing bossing, and hopefully actually start doing some bosses as well. Now one thing I need to do is get the Salve Amulet E. To do this, I'll need to complete the Tarn Razlor mini quest and get the Tarn's Diary. It's a pretty easy mini quest. It just has a requirement of level 40 Slayer, which I didn't have earlier, but now we can get it done and get the better amulet. And a quick little boss fight later, and we complete the mini quest. Now let's go get the Enchanted Salve Amulet. There you go. That is plus 20% damage, plus 20% accuracy to undead creatures. So it's really going to help with my AFK training, not only for Necromancy, but the other styles as well. Now let's go over the goals for this episode. I want to get tier 70 Deathdealer Necromancy armor. Currently I only have tier 50, so we do have a ways to go, and I'll actually have to get 3,000 souls doing rituals so I can complete the Spirit of War and unlock my first Necromancy boss, Hermod. Not only that, I'll have to spend quite a bit of time at Hermod to get 5 Hermotic plates, which is needed to upgrade all 5 pieces to tier 70 Deathdealer armor. To cap it all off, we will need to defeat 2 bosses, the Giant Mole and the Calphite Queen, to complete the Killy Row task so we can make the Deathdealer armor. Now the main reason I want this is not only is it a higher tier of armor, but it's for its set effect. For each tier 70 Deathdealer armor piece you have, you get a 1% chance to apply Death Mark. Death Mark is one of the most overpowered abilities that Necromancy has, especially when it comes to early game bossing. It allows you to instantly kill the boss when it has 20% or less health, up to a maximum of 30,000. So if I am fighting a boss like Vindicta, which has 200,000 health, then when I do get Vindicta down to 30,000, then I will get an insta-kill if the Death Mark is applied. So it's basically an automatic 30,000 damage to some bosses, which is huge considering damage is kind of hard to deal at a low level. Now there are a few quests we need to complete first, the first one being Ghosts Ahoy. It's a pretty quick quest and also gives a bit of prayer XP, and that is level 41 prayer coming in. Next up is Vessel of the Harbinger. It's the quest right before the Spirit of War to unlock Hermod, and we now have all the requirements for it, so let's get started. And that is Vessel of the Harbinger completed. We got some Necromancy XP, some prayer XP, but more importantly, we can now do the Spirit of War. All we need is 3,000 Vessel souls, so we're going to go do that, and then we'll do the quest. And that is it. That is the last communion ritual we will have to do for now. We just got 3,000 Vessel souls, so we have unlocked the ability to do the Spirit of War quest. So we will do that, but first we actually have some time to do some group content. Everyone's on, we all have some time to try out Croesus and also use those Death Touch darts that I mentioned earlier. First, we need to get the magic butterfly net, since my role is going to be hunter for Croesus, so we quickly finished the Lost City quest and obtained the magic butterfly net. It will give us a small boost to our success chance when gathering the fungal spores at Croesus, so pretty quick upgrade to get, may as well get it. Now it's finally time for the team to try out Croesus. Now I have been waiting to do Croesus for a while, but our first few kills went like this.
We bank, teleport back and go again?
I don't think Croesus at the moment. It might not be possible, but yes.
I mean, it would be possible if we weren't getting fishing mitts.
And
I
so
mean,
that is
on mining.
guaranteed consistent.
It's whichever stat is drained the most during the fight. I'm kind of surprised that we're struggling because everyone has good fishing.
Yeah, it's just poorly balanced.
Now, although we gave it a pretty good try, we just weren't able to get a kill. Our skills were a bit too low, so it was a bit unfortunate, but we'll end up coming back when we're a bit stronger. Now, next up for a group content is the Calphite King. This is going to be our target for our 4 Death Touch darts in the hopes of getting a Drygor weapon, which will just catapult Kritya's melee run by giving him a tier 90 melee weapon.
We just stay back here so KK doesn't attack us. And we see Rex.
Equipped.
Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen?
Hey, boy!
Oh! This one.
Lantadime seeds.
How many with those? I'm not gonna lie. How many?
Huge 5 Lantadime seeds.
Okay.
Alright, next up.
Okay, next up. Okay, stand
My
in line.
Turn.
Okay, slower than I thought.
This is very suspicious. Oh, wait.
There we go. There we go. Pause.
Pause. Okay. Okay.
Pause. Hold.
Pause. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so many super restores. Holy shit.
Oh, that's
Okay,
actually
not
really
bad.
Does anyone have info?
40 super
good.
restores.
Trade me.
Man, this is how killing KK used to be.
Okay, here we go.
Good
There we
luck.
go, there we go, there we go.
Oh god, no!
Oh my lord, I nearly see that's why I brought this.
Oh, jeez. I got Shark.
Destroyed, bro. Shark.
Who has some
Maybe we
inventory
should ban-
space?
I believe.
Is now a bad time to say that I don't get spooned on weapon upgrades?
Oh no.
No, this guy.
Did you get all the sharks or did they just disappear?
I got them.
Ooh. Ooh.
Die! Come on, get your own
And
weapon,
it's,
my man. The suspense is crazy.
Sharks.
Wow.
Ted.
So many sharks.
So unfortunately, no luck with the 5 Death Touch darts. We did try to get a Calphite King kill without the Death Touch darts, but that also didn't go well. So it was a bit of a sad day for the Yappers. We weren't able to get any boss kills. They were maybe a bit of a higher level boss, a bit out of our range for now, but we'll definitely have to come back later for some revenge. So now that we have the 3000 Vessel of Souls, I really want to focus on getting that tier 70 Deathdealer armor. It will really help with all of these bosses, including the Calphite King. If I'm able to apply a death mark, again, that's 30,000 health that we just don't have to deal with at the end of the boss fight. And the fact that we're able to get it down to 40,000 means we are actually very close to getting the kill, and likely if I get this armor, we will be able to. We have progressed throughout the quest, and now it's time to take on Hermod. We just talked to Karen, and in the 4 souls I found, and here we go. We travel to Raziel's Citadel. Let's do it. Let's go talk to Raziel. We're not quite ready for him, but man, is it gonna be a grind going for all of his clothes and weapons. But for now, we're just after Hermod. Let's do it. Boss fight right away. Alright. Oh, I don't have the Necromancy protection prayer. Wow. I don't think he's gonna be too hard to beat though. 99% accuracy, which is kind of crazy. And Hermod is down. We got the kill. And that should be enough for the quest. There we go. We got a Hermotic plate. And we got the XP. We also gained access to Hermod. So that's awesome. And we can complete Killyro's next task for the tier 70 gear. Okay, so first we are going to get Killy's new task. so we can get the tier 70 gear. So we can do the tier 70 and then the tier 70 power. I'm probably just going to do both. So let's do the tier 70 tank gear first. So actually dragon souls, which is perfect. I'm going to go kill some dragons, get some dragon bones, and get the 3 prayer levels. And he needs a fish pie. I actually can't make that yet, but someone in my group can. And we need to kill the Barrows brothers. So that's another new boss to take on. So let's go do that. I also want to go get another or a new Reaper task and just complete that real quick. So let's go do all of those things. And so we quickly defeated the 100 dragons, and I went to the Chaos Altar to bury all of the bones so we would get some prayer levels. And that is level 46 prayer coming in. We have unlocked the Necromancy Protection Prayer, which means I can now do Hermod pretty effectively in its normal mode. And so that is something I want to do. We will actually need those 5 Hermotic plates for later to get the power armor. I went to test out this new protection prayer against Hermod, and it worked very well. We were able to get the first kill in no time, but before we do any more, let's finish off this tier 70 gear upgrade. So now that the 100 dragons are defeated, we need to complete a full Barrows run and use the greater necroplasm on each of the Barrows brothers' sarcophaguses. So we're gonna go do that. It should be really easy. The salve amulet even works here. There would be one drop that would be really useful here. That is the Amulet of Forsaken. I could actually create a new relic power through archaeology, which would give me a similar Darok set effect. I would get up to a 5.5% damage increase depending on my life points. So that would be one item that would be really nice to get, but I don't really expect to get it in just one Barrows run. And so we made it to the end of the Barrows run. Let's see what we get in the chest. And no luck. We did get some runes, which I guess is nice. You get that from every run. But no unique. Let's go claim the task from Killy and upgrade our gear to tier 70. And let's hand in everything to Killy and unlock the tier 70 tank gear. So I do have the necromancy level and the materials needed to create the tier 70 necromancy weapons, but I don't have the smithing level. So Critya is gonna have to come help me with that when he's available. And I still have to work on 70 defense so I can actually get some tier 70 armor. So that is gonna be when I'll be AFKing next. For now though, let's start the tier 70 power upgrades. We do need the Hermotic plates, we do need the ensouled cloth, things like that to actually get the upgrade. But we can start the task and start the bossing to get the reward. And so I just spent the next little while AFKing my defense. I've been AFKing at the fetid zombies, and it's completely AFK with necromancy with the blood siphon ability and the ghost. It just makes it so your health is always at full, and I'm getting, about 150k XP per hour and don't really have to pay attention at all. So this is level 70 defense coming in. You can see they also drop some 1-dose prayer potions, which I've been decanting into the 4-dose, so that is going to be helpful when we go do some bossing. And yeah, this has been my AFK spot. I've moved here from the Abyss because it's slightly more XP per hour. And we're back in the city of Critya is able to assist me in upgrading my Death Guard and my Skull Lantern to tier 70, so now we finally have some tier 70 weapons. This actually unlocks the Death Guard special attack Death Grasp, which only costs 25% adrenaline to use, and it is extremely powerful. It does consume necrosis stacks, which does increase its damage. But if you're using it on, a high amount of necrosis stacks, like 10 or 12, you're going to be dealing at least 10,000 damage at my level. At higher levels, this is when you can hit that 30k hit cap. So this is a huge upgrade and will help my DPS for all bosses going forward. Now that we have the tier 70 weapons, we're going to have to start completing some of the requirements for the tier 70 power gear. First up is the 5 Hermotic plates from Hermod. Now that we have obtained the 5 Harmonic Plates, there's only one thing left to do. We need to defeat 5 Giant Mole and 5 Calphite Queen. We're going to start with the Giant Mole first. They're both very easy bosses, especially with Necromancy, so we won't have any problem here. Now that we have everything we need to complete the tier 70 power gear task, let's hand it into Killy, and we can now make the tier 70 power gear. I don't currently have the crafting level myself, but Mr. Metal Spooter, my teammate Idolraxer, does have the crafting level, so he will assist me and we'll get our tier 70 Deathdealer armor. And there is all 5 pieces of the tier 70 Deathdealer armor made thanks to the Metal Spooter and his crafting level. And now we can really get started with some bossing. We will have the Death Mark thanks to the tier 70 gear having the 5% chance to apply it. And we also have the tier 70 weapons, which unlocks the special attack Death Grasp, so the damage per second for my account has gone up a ton, and we will really be able to start taking on some bosses and get some revenge for those failures earlier this week. I tested the gear at a few different bosses. I did a bit more barrows for a Reaper, and I actually ended up getting a drop. We got Varrock Brassards, not really a great drop, but provide a little bit more armor when I have to train my melee stats. We also tested out our Glacier, and we can fully AFK this boss on 0 or 1 mechanic, so that is a huge boost, and the Death Mark is really speeding up the kills on any boss I do. Although we just got a huge upgrade for the account, I don't want to stop here. We're now able to do some bosses, but still not very efficiently, and I'll be working towards the tier 80 armor in the next episode, where we'll need to take on 4 brand new bosses.